Hey, it's Marthea Pitts, the MSW coach, and I am back for another video. So let's do some general housekeeping, and then we're gonna jump into the topic, right? So the first thing is we are in the middle of a very busy next 2 weeks here at the MSW Coach. The first thing is that we are 1 week away from opening up enrollment of cohort 14 for the Micro to Macro Career Accelerator for social workers. So if you don't know what the Micro to Macro Career Accelerator for social workers is, no problem. I'll explain it, right? Micro to Macro is my 10-month group career coaching program where I help social workers make the pivot from case management to macro social work roles using just their MSW degree and their case management experience. As of today, I've helped well over 130 social workers since we've officially been keeping count land the macro social work jobs of their dreams. It's my comprehensive group career coaching program designed for aspiring macro social workers and current macro social workers. And inside of the accelerator, I teach you everything there is to know to land your dream macro job. I teach you how to identify macro social work jobs. I teach you how to apply for them through a one-on-one 2-hour resume intensive. I call them Zoom dates. It's me and you on Zoom, and I teach you how to uncover your hidden experiences. I teach you how to translate those on your resume so you stand out amongst the sea of other MSW degree holders that are out there applying for change-making roles. And I also teach you how to interview for macro jobs, because if you go into a macro job like you are interviewing for a case management job, you will not get them. So I teach you how to master macro interviews and more, right? You're concerned with your first macro job. I'm concerned about teaching you the things you need to know to get multiple macro jobs, right? Because ultimately, the vision for the MSW coach is to help more change makers get into large scale change making roles. And so that may not be specifically your first macro job, but it may be the job you're going for 2 to 3 jobs after that one, right? So you're concerned with the first one. I'm concerned about your long-term career goals. So it's a 10-month group career coaching program, and it's my program promise to teach you everything that you need to know within the first 3 months. So within the first 3 months, you will have everything that you need to hit the ground running. The reason the program is 10 months in length is because I know that you need more than that, right? You need more than just a resume. You need more than just a job title. You're going to need comprehensive wraparound supports. Let's put on our case management hats. You're going to need comprehensive wraparound supports, right? So I am there with you on the journey for that 10 months. Ideally, I would like to be there with you while you're going through the curriculum, while you are applying for jobs and going on interviews, and maybe even the first 90 days on the job, because shifting into these roles from being your typical case manager will be a change, right? So I do a lot of work inside of the accelerator to prepare social workers for that, so it's not such a shock to the system and it doesn't feel hard for them, and then they ultimately want to go back to case management, because that's what happens to macro social workers who I don't work with. They contact me about the struggles they have in their macro roles, which I still need to record I recorded an episode, but I need to re-record that episode, a whole episode around why that happens. But a large reason that happens is because you have not spent the necessary time in the beginning getting clarity around what it is that you really want to do. A large percent of social workers just have their sights set on policy macro jobs because that's all that they know about. And then once they get into a policy job, they're like, this is not what I like to do, right? Or it's because they weren't prepared enough for the shift, right? Because it is a shift. And so it will start to feel hard. It will start to feel uncomfortable. And that's just a natural law of nature, of being a human rather, is that you will want to retreat back to the comfortable spot. So the program is designed for aspiring macro social workers as well as current macro social workers. I work with anybody, right? I do have alum who were in my earlier cohorts who are working with me again to get their next macro job. So it's for you too. So click the link down in the description box and visit macroandpaid.com and visit the waitlist webpage. I have all the information there you need to know. I have details about what is covered in the curriculum, when we have our coaching calls, the cost, finance options. I do have finance options available. I have in-house payment plans, as well as I'm connected to PayPal. And I'm not affiliated with them, but PayPal, if you meet their requirements, you can get financing where you can break your payments up over 24 months, and it can be as low as $170 a month. I have links on there to client testimonials, people who have come through the same accelerator and who have landed macro jobs, talking about their experience of being inside of the accelerator, what their life looked like before joining the program, and then after, once they have landed their macro job, which is always just a very inspiring thing to hear. So I encourage you to go visit macroandpay.com right now. Pause this video, join the waitlist, and click around. The reason you want to join the waitlist is because the waitlist will close this Friday. And the benefit of being on the wait list is that you will receive a special VIP invite to attend our group career coaching call on Sunday, February 11th, because registration, I didn't say that part, registration opens on February 11th and it closes that Saturday. So it's open for 7 days, Sunday to Saturday, and it closes that Saturday at 11:59 p.m. But if you are on the wait list, you get an invite to our Sunday group career coaching call, to come inside of the community to see what it's like to be in the program, what it's like to be career coached by me, what are some of the things that we're working on currently. And it's just a unique opportunity. I don't do it a lot. I think this is my second time doing it. So I encourage you to utilize it, because I don't guarantee that I'll offer it the next cohort. So even if you are in a spot where you are still kind of on the fence, come to the coaching call. Join the wait list, get the VIP invite, come to the coaching call. Also, the other benefit of making certain that your name and your email address is on the wait list before this Friday when it closes is that you then can receive an opportunity to receive $250 off of the cost of enrollment. And so what that looks like is, because you are on the wait list, you can qualify to get $250 off enrollment if you enroll within the first 3 days of the enrollment week. So that's February 11th, February 12th, February 13th by 11:59 p.m. You can get $250 off of the enrollment cost. And again, that only comes as a benefit of being on the wait list. So visit macroandpaid.com, put your name on the wait list. I've helped well over 130 social workers just to date, again, since I've been keeping count, land macro jobs. More recently, in the month of January, we are only at February 5th, 2024. In January 2024, seven of my group career, seven, let me not gloss over that. I'm not like y'all. I talk about my career wins, right? 7 of my micro to macro career accelerator coaching clients landed macro interviews within the first 17 days of 2024. That's major, right? Because you probably are a person that believes that employers don't hire during interviews. During the holidays, that they don't look at interviews, that they don't post jobs. But my career coaching clients know otherwise. Why? Because I'm their career coach and I teach them true, accurate career information, right? We don't move off of our feelings over here. We move off of facts. Right. So 7 of them, right after coming off the heels, when people were back in the office, were getting calls and emails about scheduling their macro social work interviews. And out of the 7, 2 of them have thus far landed job offers. They landed those last week before January was over. So it resulted in 2 job offers for 2 of my current career coaching clients. So I always tell the people, you work with me, you're going to get a win, right? I'm not a social worker that's just been a social worker for years and then I teach people how to get jobs because I've been a social worker. No, I teach people how to get jobs because this is my area of expertise. I do this professionally. I studied the thing. I understand the market specifically for social workers, change makers. So if you want to work with me, click macroandpaid.com, get on the wait list. Right, and so this segues us, because I was just getting ready to get on one, but let me segue you first us into the conversation for today. What I really want to talk about is, hold on to your seat, okay? So what I want to talk about is the fact that, well, it's a question first. Let me ask you this question. Why do you keep putting yourself through the same thing, right? So it's Monday. I'm recording this Monday. And I woke up this morning and I was like, I am so thankful to just be alive, right? I'm so thankful for having movement in my body. I'm just so thankful for all of the things that I'm blessed with, right? I'm very intentional of waking up in a place of gratitude, because there were so many years where I woke up mad and pissed off that it was a new day, because a new day then equated to me having to go to a job that I hated, right? So if you're new around here, I didn't even introduce myself. Let me pause. See, I be so excited about the thing that I always fail to introduce myself. So just a little bit about me. My name is Marthea Pitts. I am a 3-time award-winning workforce development career counselor and macro social worker. I help social workers make the pivot from case management to macro social work roles using their MSW degree and their case management experience. No licenses, no leadership experience, no need to network, none of the things. I teach them how to do that because I wholeheartedly believe that social workers are the answer to the issues of the world. So I am on a mission to help as many social workers as possible make that pivot to macro social work roles. So let's get back into it. I remember a time prior to becoming a social worker, waking up in the mornings mad and pissed off because I worked in call centers. If you are not familiar with my background, I encourage you to I believe I have it posted on my YouTube channel. Maybe not, but visit macroandpaid.com. It will link you to my podcast, which is Macro Social Work Your Way, where I share my journey into becoming a macro social worker. And I need to put that on my list of things to do this year. I'll record a video to talk about that journey, to put it here on YouTube. But before even I went to school as a working adult, right? I had a very non-traditional story, even though there's no such thing as a non-traditional student anymore. A large percentage of students are working adults. But anyway, I had a very non-traditional journey into becoming a social worker. But just a little brief part about it, I was a full-time working student. So before becoming a social worker, before returning to school, I worked in call centers within a state governmental system for quite a few years. And I hated that job. I hated those jobs, right? Because I always knew that I was bigger than those jobs. I didn't always have the words to what I was feeling, but I always knew I was destined to do something that was way bigger than to meeting a call quota, right? But you have to do what you have to do. You got to pay the bills. Plus, I only had a high school diploma at that time. So anyway, I hated those jobs. I would cry going to work. I would cry coming home to work. A large of it was attributed to the job, but also a lot of it was attributed to just things that I was going through in my personal life. But anyway, I would wake up mad and pissed off that the day was here, and that meant that I had to go to this job that I hated. My mornings would be horrible. I did not spend any time. I didn't spend any time giving gratitude and thanks for a new day, new opportunities. I didn't see it as a new opportunity, right? So this morning when I woke up, I thought about the fact that you probably woke up this morning the same way. If you're watching my videos, you most likely are in a job that you don't like, or that you feel you should be doing more, or maybe you're in a place in your life where you feel like you should be doing more in your life, in your career, all of the things. So I wanted to say, if that was you, how much longer are you gonna keep doing the same thing, right? This wasn't the first Monday you woke up like that. This wasn't even maybe the second, third, fourth, or fifth Monday that you woke up like that. You've been doing this for years at this point. How much longer are you going to keep doing the same thing? And again, if you are new here, I'm very much rooted in reality, right? Very much rooted in reality. And I love to give real world examples, right? So people can understand what I'm talking about, because that's just my life experience. That's how I talk about things. So the example that I came up with this morning is, you waking up every Monday mad and pissed off, you throwing things around the house, you yelling at the kids, you kicking the dog, you pushing the cat away, all of the things, right? You speed through traffic to get to work because you're mad you gotta go, is the equivalent of, but you still go, right? And you still go to the job every week. You don't look for a job. You don't sign up for my career coaching services. You don't even pull out that old dusty resume that you ain't looked at in years, right? But you still go year after year, month after month, week after week to the job that you don't like. That's the equivalent of what you do in your romantic relationships when you double back. See, we get into the real part of the conversation now. That's the equivalent of when you double back to your ex, knowing that they haven't changed, knowing that they haven't did anything to be different than from the reason why you left them, knowing there has not been any change in their mindset. But you double back, right? And when you double back, and I'm talking to me too, right? Because the examples that I give, I don't pull them out of the air. I pull them from real life situations. It could be my life, it could be somebody else's life, but I'm very much rooted in reality, right? And I'm very much in the know. So when you double back to your ex, you double back in the hopes, like, okay, hopefully they have changed. But in reality, with your social work mind, right, that's what I like to call it, your educated mind, you know there hasn't been a change. And so you double back because it's comfortable. Right? Because ultimately at the root of it, you are not comfortable with change. You are not comfortable with maybe putting yourself back out there on a dating scene. Maybe you have relocated to a new city. Maybe you are in a different space and you're like, I don't want to be out there. Maybe you're nursing a broken heart from the situation. And so because of that, it's easier for you to just go back to the familiar, right? There's a quote that I heard the other day, and I always misquote things, but it was something along the lines of, it's easier to deal with the devil that you know, right? Meaning it's easier to deal with the people, the situations, the things, because you've learned how to create workarounds around it. You know how to move, you know how to say different words, you know how to avoid landmines, right? Rather than venturing out into the unknown land, the unknown territory, maybe putting yourself back out there in the job market, going on multiple interviews, getting rejections, because rejections are a part of interviews, right? Of being on a job search scene. That's the same thing you do in your relationship, right? You don't want to go on multiple dates with people. You don't want to kiss 200 frogs and have to get to know them and learn people's dislikes and likes and all of the things, and going through that whole stage of get to know you. And then once you get to know them, you like, this is the booby prize. You gave me the representative, and then you got to start all over again, right? So it becomes easier just to double back to your ex, who you know what they is, you know what they about, you know what to say and not to say with them. It's the same equivalent to your job, right? You don't want to apply for the jobs, you don't want to pull out your resume, you don't want to do any of the things. You want to move through the fact that I'm a social worker with an MSW degree and maybe even a license, but it ain't yielding you the results that you need. So it's going to require you to do some different things that are uncomfortable, right? But I want to say that life requires you to get uncomfortable. And again, I'm not talking to just you. I'm talking to myself as well. These are things that I've learned in the last year, because I admittedly moved through the world a lot thinking that life should be a fairy tale. Life should be perfect, and it is not. It requires you to get uncomfortable to experience the growth and change that you really want, right? It's going to require you to leave the people, places, things, behaviors, habits, right? Because it's a habit that you may have that is causing you to go back, right? And that's where you have to do that deep internal work. That ain't nothing I can help you with. I can help you by shedding light on it, telling you that it's a thing, but you're going to have to do your work. So I really want to ask the question, how much longer? Because life can be beautiful. It can. But it's going to require you to get uncomfortable. It's going to require you to do the hard work. It's going to require you to have to do a little bit more. Because we know, right, you hate that case management job, but you love that case management job at the same time. You don't like your ex, but you love your ex at the same time, because they both allow you to stay in your comfort zone. They both allow you to stay safe, right? They both allow you to just be you and not have to expand and grow and fail, right? To learn new things. But your comfort zone is keeping you small and stuck. Your comfort zone is keeping you severely underpaid. Your comfort zone is keeping you playing small. So again, my question is, how much longer you gonna keep doing the same thing? You should be tired. You should be tired. You should be tired of every Monday morning in the same routine, being mad and pissed off, yelling at your partners, yelling at whoever, I don't know, people in your support system, yelling at your kids, rushing them out of the house because you mad, you late because you didn't want to get up out of bed, because you didn't want to go to the job, right? Just know and understand that every minute you stay stuck in that, you decide to stay in that vicious cycle, is every minute that you are losing to be in a state of thriving happiness and just living a full life, right? The sooner you move, the sooner you get okay with being uncomfortable, the sooner you can get to the other side, right? And so just understand that the change that you're looking for is going to require you to get uncomfortable. If you want to keep giving the same baseline, like half try effort in your job search, you're going to keep getting the same jobs. You're going to keep getting the same results, right? If you keep looking for shortcuts and moving through your life, looking for a shortcut, looking for a come up, you want to network, you want to wait for somebody to come to you and say, hey, I have an opportunity to change your life, you're going to be waiting. Why not take it into your own hands and create your own new narrative, right? That's why I don't talk about networking. Because networking is real waiting on somebody else to give you an opportunity. Why do I got to wait on somebody else to come give me an opportunity when I could create my own opportunity? I have the means, I have the experience, I have the knowledge, I have the expertise. I ain't got to wait on you to give me an opportunity to feel like I'm worthy for the opportunity. Let me see. I'm trying to reserve myself because I'm doing this video a little bit different, right? So I can't quickly pause when I'm feeling myself getting warmed up. But real talk, a lot of y'all waiting for people to give y'all stuff when it ain't, you already have what you need in your hands. Create your own opportunity, right? A lot of you are looking for shortcuts, and shortcuts got you in a job that you hate. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to put your stuff back out there. You don't have to get yourself on the job, in the job market. You're going to have to get some no's before you get a yes. You might have to invest into coaching financially. You invested for that degree, right? A lot of people stay in relationships because it's like, I invested. I put time in this relationship, so I'm going to stay. I don't want nobody else to have what I invested in this. But if the investment is not yielding you the rate on return that you should be getting, you need to reevaluate your investment. Did you make a bad investment? Do you need to invest in something else? Right? Maybe you need to invest in some counseling for you and your partner. Maybe you need to invest in a career coach for your career. Right? So I'm going to end there because I feel like y'all got my message. But Cohort 14 enrollment is opening Sunday. I have 2 coaching clients who landed macro jobs not even 30 days into the year of 2024. 7 had interviews 15 days into 2024. Just imagine where you could be 6 months from now, 8 months from now, 10 months from now. I would hate it for you if you found yourself 2025, February 5th, sitting in the same place, going through the same thing, or waking up on a Monday, well, it'll be a Tuesday, but on a Monday during this week, mad and pissed off because you were going back to that same job that you hate. Don't let that be you. Visit macroandpay.com. Happy macro career planning. Bye.